When?
46 verse 10.
Well, we're going through Psalms 46. Psalm 46. We're going through the whole thing. Okay. We'll read the whole thing.
Wait, so we're going from 1 to 40?
That would be the whole thing? No, just Psalm 46.
I can't find it.
I'll help you. Hold on.
I go from Psalms all the way from.
Now you're on 136.
Oh, okay, now I can find it now. So, what chapter was it? 36?
46.
46 chapter.
I'll try my best to repeat it.
What? Number 42? 6.
Yeah.
Your Bible, what is it?
You had it right. 4, 6. Yeah.
I'm doing best. It's 46. This is 17.
Okay. So the first verse says, God is our refuge and strength, very present help in trouble. So this whole psalm is talking about God being there for us and being our strength. Now, obviously, with everything that's going on, I figured this and another verse would be something that we definitely need to remember with COVID, with being quarantined and all that stuff. People worry and stress way more than they really need to. So the first verse says that God is our refuge and our strength, very present help in trouble. Therefore, will not we fear? Okay, so that means therefore, because he's with us, we're not going to fear. Though the earth be removed, and though the mountains be carried into the midst of the sea. So what David is saying here is, therefore, because, for example, this is what he's saying. For example, even if the earth is moved, even if the mountains, you literally see mountains thrown into the sea. Obviously, we have not seen anything that crazy yet. So he's covering a large, covering a large ground of what ifs here. In verse 3 it says, though the waters therefore roar and be troubled, though the mountains shake with the swelling thereof. There is a river, the streams whereof shall make glad in the city of God, the holy place of the tabernacle of the Most High. God is in the midst of her. She shall not be moved. She shall help her, and that right early. So he's saying that God will take care of us. Yes, Bub?
At the end of verse 3 it says
Selah. Yeah, it's the Lambert's daughter. They're talking about her. Just they bring her up constantly, man. It's a little much. Okay. Anyway, I got you. Yeah, that's what you say everything. Verse 6 says, the heathen raged, the kingdoms were moved. He uttered his voice, the earth melted. The Lord of hosts is with us. The God of Jacob is our refuge. There's the Lambert's daughter again. Come, behold the works of the Lord, what desolations he hath made in the earth. He maketh wars to cease unto the end of the earth. He breaketh the bow, and cutteth the spear in sunder. He burneth the chariot in the fire. So he's giving all the examples of God taking care of business, so to speak. Okay, and then this is a very, very popular verse, verse 10. Be still and know that I am God. I will be exalted among the heathen. I will be exalted in the earth. That be still part is talking about calm down, relax, be patient. Yes, Bubba?
that's on our soap. That's on the soap.
Okay. All right. It's on your soap. The words be still. Maybe it's a religious
It is.
group. It is?
No, it just has that Bible verse on the soap
You still,
dispenser.
I know that.
Oh, the soap dispenser. Okay. Yes. Okay. Yeah. So a lot of people just push by that verse. Okay, be still, God. Well, God is really telling us to calm down and relax because he knows just our flesh will get us worried and concerned about things that we don't need to be worried and concerned about. For example, just today, God does the same thing that we as parents do to you guys. Mommy kept telling Paisley to be still when she was brushing her hair. Okay, be still. If she kept moving it would hurt more. Okay? That happens all the time with adults, with God. He's telling us to be still. Stop trying to do it on your own. It's only going to hurt. Okay? Anytime you try to do something without God, it ends up in more pain than if you did it with God. Another example is Memphis, when we were doing the fence out there. I was telling you to be still and hold the fence. Because if you moved, one, the fence was going to move. And two, I was going to nail my thumb. And I told you to be still when you were nailing because otherwise you were going to hit your thumb, right? Same thing with us. We're trying to keep you from more pain that you need to go through, okay? And so that's what God's telling us when he wants us to be still, is to relax. In layman's terms, meaning in our words, he's saying, relax. I've got this. I'm in charge. I'm here right now. I'll take care of it. And then another verse that I wanted to jump to. You guys don't have it in there. It's a very popular verse, but I wanted to explain it a little bit. It's in 2 Timothy chapter 1, verse 7. It says, "For God hath not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind." Now, the thing I want to look at right there is sound mind. I heard... I don't know the exact person who said it, but it was someone, an elder in the church, said that they do not live in fear, because with all this COVID stuff, they don't live in fear because God doesn't give us that spirit of fear. But they said that they will make wise choices. And that's what sound mind roughly translates to, making right choices, making sound choices. Good judgment is also what it translates to. Yes, Memphis?
I have two questions.
Okay.
Before I got saved,
Mm-hmm.
I was scared almost every day that I might die.
Mm.
Because, like, oh, a spider could come bit me and then I would die. Or an earthquake could happen and then I might die. This storm might blow our house away and I might die. So, I always got scared of that. And what verse is it in?
But now you don't.
Yeah, but now you don't. Right, exactly. He takes that fear away. When people get worried and worked up and frustrated and nervous about things, majority of the time, if they don't have God, it makes sense. Because if you don't have God to turn to when things get really bad, you have no hope. Okay, and so you really can't get upset at people when they worry and stress about things if they don't know who Jesus is, because they have nobody else to turn to. But yeah, when it says sound mind, it means making good choices, good decisions. So with all the virus stuff that's going around, with flu season, with all those things, no, we do not have the spirit of fear, meaning that we shouldn't be fearful of anything. That means being afraid. We don't have that feeling inside of us unless we act it out in our own flesh. However, God gives us the spirit of sound mind, which means making good decisions, okay? If you're sick, you don't go hang out with people and hang out with, like, Grandma Lenny can't come inside because we're quarantined, okay? That's just a sound decision. It's a good decision. Do we want her to be there? Absolutely. But we know it's not in the best interest of her. It's not us being fearful. Now, on the other hand, you shouldn't be so afraid that you don't leave your house at all through all this stuff forever. If you're under quarantine, you're supposed to, but don't stay at home and not be able to spread the gospel or just be a light to other people out of fear, because God doesn't give us that feeling. Did you have another question? Yeah. Yes?
What verse was it in?
It was 2 Timothy chapter 1, verse 7. Do you want me to read it again?
I know this is 2 Timothy 7. Consider it what I say, and the Lord give unto
2 Timothy what?
1, chapter 1, verse 7. 2 Timothy chapter
Yeah.
1,
For God
verse...
hath not given us the spirit of fear,
Yes, of sound mind. Yeah, that's the big one that I think a lot of people, even Christians, overlook is, for instance, perfect example. I tell Mommy about this all the time. Daddy had an aunt growing up. No,
Clark.
you don't know who the aunt is. You don't know who the aunt is. I don't even think I ever met her, to be totally honest with you. But anyway, so she came over to our house one day, and she had no.
I don't think I ever met her, but she came to my.
Anyway, so she came over to our somebody's house. She came over to somebody's house. I was told this story by my mom. Anyway, Grandma Lenny told me this story. She came over and she said that I don't have any gasoline for my lawnmower, but I have to mow my lawn. And she said, "It's okay. I'll fill it with water. The Lord will do the rest."
Oh, I heard this.
You remember that story? Okay, now.
When that ate-
That's not using a sound mind. That's not a good decision, okay? Because you can really mess up your lawnmower. I don't even know what it does, but I'm not going to try that, okay? That's one of those instances where, okay,
when they-
you're not being fearful, that's for sure, okay? But, you know,
God
You're not
made
being
you
smart.
you're not being smart. It's not a good decision to make, okay?
You're not Jesus.
You're not Jesus. He turned water into wine. Now you're turning water into gasoline. I don't think was the next thing up. Okay, but yeah, that's what God's trying to tell us is, in our own words, is don't be afraid, but you make good decisions. Don't make silly decisions. Don't make no decisions. And just make sound-minded decisions. That's why we have to pray, because it gets us closer to God and the Holy Spirit, who helps us figure things out, because this is our manual for life. You remember what Bible stands for? Basic instructions before leaving Earth. That's what it stands for.
Oh, it does?
Yeah, I don't know if it's a Sunday
Wow.
school thing, but
Yeah.
I'm just saying,
It's an acronym.
it's an acronym. But it is. This is our instruction book. This is our instruction manual, how to live life. Every single answer to any question we have is in this book. But people try to do things on their own, or think that God can't possibly have the answer for me for this situation, but He does. I have never found a situation where, when I read and prayed, I didn't find something that helped me answer it. So that's what I want us to work on, is learning that no, we don't have the spirit of fear, so we're not fearful or afraid of everything that's going on, but we also need to make wise decisions, because the Holy Spirit is in us, and it helps us create good decisions with our sound mind.